say this to anybody, anywhere in the world. Islam, no. Islam, no. If they don't say it back to you, I ain't mad. Because what? Pure heart give, love what? Don't demand it back. So if that guy never came back and talked to me, I'd have told y'all. I was ready to tell y'all anyway, he wasn't going to talk to me. He must be one of the moles I made mad. I say all this to let y'all know. We're not going to march with Negroes. When we get ready to do what we do, we're doing it as one. If we ever get an opportunity to march, we should be in the front line. There ain't but 300 of us and 10,000 Negroes want to march with us, they will march behind us. And when they ask why, this is our march. We're leading on the victory show. That's what I'm on. That's what I'm on like. We lead on the victory show. We're soldiers of Allah. Jundin Allah means warriors of Allah. We're one of Allah. So we don't fear nothing. We walk as fear, not in fear.
Religious controversy. The religious controversy really stems from the fact, what's your religion? What's your nationality? And we as a people should understand the depth of what's your nationality, what's your religion. It goes way back before Prophet Noble Ali came. When the slaveholder beat Kula Kinte and made him Toby. When he told the Negroes on the plantation, you can't say your own name in your own language. Then he divided us from our religion, became the controversy. Since that time, we've been running around the people trying to say what our religion is on our own, like we know better. But what we actually been doing is switching from one slaveholder to another. We go from Christianity, from Judaism. The Jews sold us into slavery. They came out of Egypt, and it tells you in the Bible, in Leviticus, that they can enslave the people that came out of Egypt with them. Then if you get into Christianity say we're cursed people. From Ham, we're cursed people. Then when you get into Islam, they tell you Muhammad's the last prophet. And while they hold the Quran up in there and say Allahu Akbar, they had their foot on our neck. They held us in slavery in Arabia up to 1962. Now I had some people tell me, well, Brother Roy, you know the original Arabs, they were black, they was Moors. Now I had to tell them you a lie. The original Arabs was not Moors. It's impossible. It's so impossible that I put up the scripture. Psalms 83 verse 6. It says the Ishmaelites on the land of the Moabites. It didn't say the Moabites on the land of the Ishmaelites. So the Ishmaelites are descendants of Ishmael, who descended of Ibrahim through Hagar. So they let you know they had to be on our land. We was never on their land. Now, as occupying authorities, they've changed the history of our people. So now we believe in order to be Islamic, we gotta speak Arabic and dye beards red, wear pants all the way up to our kneecaps and, speak Arabic. What's the difference between that and Christianity? None. Because the Christian gave you a Christian named Joe Bob.
Islam. Welcome to the show. Our host is Shaykh Saadi by Marsh Mahdi. As first, we set the tone by raising the meeting with prayer. Forward. Repeat after me. Allah, Father of the universe.
Allah, Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Drew Ali. Amen. Islam. Today being May the 18th, the 139th year of Ali, the year 25 in the Roman year. As always, we rise giving praise to Allah Because Allah is the only one who is praiseworthy. He is both merciful and magnificent in all that he does. As we praise Allah, as we can never repay up the debt which we owe unto Allah, it is the gratitude that we have that we stand forth and maintain our position on the Mustaqim, the true path to Allah. As we give praises to Allah, as He is the cause and the rootless root from which all good is sprang forth, as He has sent to us in the special part of Himself, the Spirit, clothed in divine flesh, and our noblest image of our holy prophet, Noble Drawley. As our holy prophet, Noble Drawley, is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the ethnic branch of the Moorish nation. As we give him honor as he formulated the thought that Allah gave to him to prescribe a manner by which we, for all humanity, could be uplifted, could be raised, and put back on the forefront amongst men of other nations. As we give praise to Allah, as our prophet brought us the old time religion, as he continued to give us all that we
What you open though?
and we give honors to
What is y'all? What is that?
we give honors to our holy prophet for that.
Over here. You see him? Keep him out there. Is that all running?
Anyway, at this time,
All right.
we just have a little
Camera in.
control.
Can you see me? Huh?
It's on me. It's still on me. So we're gonna switch it over to our spring day
Okay.
Shaykh. And we're gonna leave you as we came in peace, love, and praises unto Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. Islam.
Islam. You rise in all praises to Allah, our Father God. I give high honors to Allah and the praise of our holy prophet, Drawley, this day, yesterday, and days yet to come. I say Islam and Bismillah. Woo! You know, we're sitting here contemplating our frame in the frame of tonight's conversation, which is based upon why are you still out there as Moors trying to go back into the darkness? What is about this that you want to hold on to the European system? And I asked all these so-called Moorish Masons, I thought they would come home. Anybody up there, Mo?
Just our members so far.
Just our members so far.
Yes, sir.
So, what's so hard about following the prophet? Let me tell y'all this. Say what the prophet said. The prophet said, watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that are your prophet and the principles of your temple. So when a brother say, religion can't save you, if it could, it would have, he's against your prophet. A brother tell you that the prophet ain't perfect, he can prove it, he's against your prophet. A brother tell you that you should be a Mason, he's against your prophet. A brother trying to teach you the zodiac sign, he is against your prophet. If you know the history of these and other things that tried to unfold during the time of the prophet, then you would be wiser and safer. Because all you're doing is what the Bible says you're doing. You are key 69. You are those people that accepted the teachings from those people that's cast out the holy city. You're those people that cast out the holy city. Surah 20:102. On the day that the trumpet is blown, the guilty blue-eyed ones shall be gathered together. On the day of judgment. They don't have no judgment. They've already been deemed going to hell. Already deemed being burned up. Already deemed not being on the law. The most painful thing gotta be you're not going to be with Allah. You can call that a living hell. And Satan trying to get as many of y'all to go with him. I remember I was talking with a brother, Hanif Bey. He was telling me back in the early, late 1990s, early 2000s. He said, yes, we went up there. We was with Sharif in the woods. What y'all doing in the woods? He was taking us through, making us Mason stuff. I said, y'all in the woods. And you know what he told me? When I challenged Sharif, he said, but I had the Quran on the Bible. I said, you think putting the Quran in doo-doo makes it better? So I want y'all to think about it. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes for some more people to come on. Because this tonight talk is about hoodoo, voodoo, you do. How do you lead a prophet? In Revelation, talk about the angel. They had 1 foot on earth and 1 foot on the sea. Check it. 1 foot on earth, 1 foot on the sea. Y'all got y'all foot in a hole. Y'all going down that proverbial rabbit hole or rat hole. It is a shame before Allah that our people still chasing after myth made it flee win. Well, Mo, we gave it to the European. I ain't never said we didn't give that knowledge to the European. But let's read it. Let's read what it says in the Quran. What you call chapter 48, verse 6. It says, we as a clean and pure nation, descendants from the inhabitants of Africa, do not desire to amalgamate America to pale skinned families in Europe, neither serve the gods of their religion, because our forefathers are the true and divine founders of the first religious creed for redemption and salvation of mankind on earth. Are you mankind? What happened that you became mankind? Man. All y'all talking about Black's Law Dictionary. Go look up the original term in the original Black Law Dictionary, #1, and look under mankind. And it says monster. Y'all think cause somebody put a rope around your neck, dragged you around the room, threw some sand on you, now all of a sudden you're upright, independent, and fearless. But the Quran is saying that on the day of judgment, you shall be gathered together. Listen, it don't say you have judgment. I have a judgment day. That's right. I, Shaykh Rael, for all the wrong I done, and every lifetime I've been here, I got a judgment day. And on that judgment day, Allah going to judge my good over my bad. But is he going to do that with Satan the beast? Nope. He ain't going to do that with those that follow Satan the beast. Because you following Satan the beast willfully. You ain't being tricked no more. You ain't had a prophet. Well, you know, I forgot the name, Hazel Hill. Hazel Hill was a Mason. He was never a Moorish American. He didn't hold up the prophet. The only religion Masons got is that of Masonics. Matronics. And when you go from 15 to maybe, according to how dumb you is, maybe 45 years, then you get to say Islam. Then you get to say Islam. That's why there's a separation between the Shriners and the Masons. Masons are all Christian knights. Brother gonna tell me, you know, Prince, what did he say? The Knights Templar, Hugo Boogaloo, he was a Moor. He wasn't no Moor. You listen. Y'all got Popeyes the Cellar Man as a Moor. Y'all got olive oil as a Moabitist. Mickey and Minnie Mouse are Moorish rats. Puff the Magic Dragon is a more to y'all. Y'all made everything Moorish, but that ain't what the prophets say. Pick up your literature. Let's look at the literature. What the prophets say. Let's look what the prophets say. I'm gonna use the small one for you small-minded Moors. Let me use the small. Now this is what my Quran say. Let's go to chapter 48. The Moabites from the land of Moab received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle in northwestern Africa. They were the founders of the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire. With their Canaanite, Hittites, and Amorite brothers who sojourned them from the land of Canaan, seeking new homes. Their dominions and inhabitants extended from northeast, southwest Africa across the great Atlantic, even into the present North, South, and Central America. Also Mexico, the Atlantic died before the great earthquake was called the Atlantic Ocean. Wait a minute. The prophet tells us we ain't the only ones here. We ain't the only ones here. And the prophets say, let your power stand beyond the great universal creator Allah himself. You can't change nobody's descendant nature. Well, how can they become a monk then, brother? Well, let me tell you what I know for a fact. Brother T. Booker Bay, one of the oldest Moors out of Grand Temple number 1, was in the temple when the prophet had registered some Chinese, some Arabs, some other Asiatics. And the sister secretary said in front of him, say, prophet, dear apostle, what shall I name them? Because he already got nasty. The prophets say, we are adopting them into our what? Our tribe. Make them eels or babes. Hold it. You can't adopt nobody? Don't you know what it is when you become a citizen of the United States? You leave Puerto Rico, you leave Russia, and you come to be a citizen, don't you know you're being adopted? Prophet didn't adopt no Masons. There's nowhere in the primal source. The primal source, when you look on the minister papers, the ministry, it says set for the defense of the gospel. And it says after a satisfactory, this is the certified stop, that after satisfactory relationship with infinite stop, that said was called to the ministry stop, and the views of the holy and divine teachings of the more scientific America of Prophet Juali. Because there is no more scientific America, brother. It's Prophet Juali. He's the founder. Everything in it he put. So why is it that you brothers want to be Masons? Because you got that European in your head. You have that Snickers in your head. You know. Even in the face of truth, you totally have to follow. Read your Quran. Go look at the chapter. Understand it. Even after folly, they totally, even after on the path of truth, they totally after folly. Shame and disappointment are rewards of their labors. Woo! Now, since a lot of y'all are like each other, there's more y'all than it is us, quite naturally, you're going to find favor in each other. Quite naturally, you're going to hug on each other. Satan ain't going to cast out Satan. Even the jinn, the criminals, Satan don't get them up to nobody. They just do what they do. But anyway, anybody on there?
Just us.
Just us. Ain't there something? Where's all these master masons at that y'all see on the internet? Brother talking about, yeah, you know, that's why the temple stagnated, because the old Mo was like you. You's a dummy. The prophet said no matter how it looks, we're going to win in the end. Dummy. So you don't believe in the prophets. That's what I'm saying. He implies he don't believe in the prophet because he said, look at you now. Well, look at you now. You wearing a skirt. You running around bumping your head. You got somebody with a rope around your neck. You got somebody throwing dirt on you and sand. You got somebody giving you the grand slam. Oh, that's for I tell you, it's like Greek for sorority. You know, you go into sorority and they wham bam you and you feel good because now you're accepted by a foreign doctor. You got a foreign doctrine under your belt. Oh, no, I'm of the Greek sorority. I mean, who's your lady? What you are is a snigger, is a snigger, is a snigger, is a snigger, and nothing but a snigger. That's all a snigger is. It's a snigger. It's not a chocolate bar. Snigger. Now you got all that talk on the internet. I said, brother, come up here and we should talk intelligently. We should tackle this subject about why you think we should go back in the caves of Rome. Now, if our forefathers gave it to them, what did we have? We gave the first religion, right? Not the second religion. It said we gave them religion. It said we gave them the very first religion. And they would tell you, their stuff is religious. It's to unite all the Europeans. Because y'all don't know, Europeans ain't the same. Did you know that, brothers? Masons got 33 degrees. Ooh. Y'all think that's top notch. But the Jews got 66 degrees. So the Jews got 66 degrees, and you funky Christian Masons only got 33 degrees. You got half of the 66, right? Is that enough? But put it together, you got what? 99 degrees. You got what? You got what the Arabs give you. You put the European Christian stuff together and the Jewish stuff together, guess what you get? In Islam, you got 99 degrees. Leave me alone. Y'all should leave me alone. I got the God degree. We here in the Moore Scientific American 1928, those of us that actually practice and study have the God degree. We the big G in your compass. I'm not no geometry now, I'm the big G. Well, I remember one time I was talking with Dr. Bay and then we was on television and stuff. I said, yeah, we are the OGs. I said, I'm not OG, bro. He said, what you mean? I said, I'm an original God. Huh? I'm from the original God. I'm from the first man that walked the earth, bro. Y'all so dumb. Y'all running around throwing sesame seed on your float. Throwing salt over your shoulder. You got a little crystal like this little bottle. Y'all looking through the bottle. It's going to save me. It's going to save me. The ants. They putting all types of dots in your forehead. Drawing lines across your face. The ancestor. You are your damn ancestor. I am the first man. The prophet said reincarnation. Do y'all know what that means? You didn't just start reincarnating. The first was incarnation. We was incarnated. Huh? What's that mean? Wait a minute. Act 2. Those who be playing practice. All circles open up by what? All means open up what? Because on Friday, what? What happened? I asked you Negroes a long time ago. How long was Friday? Now I'm going to tell y'all something now. Until the prophet came, y'all was walking through hell's door every Sunday, from Sunday to Sunday, right? Preacher opening the door from Sunday to Sunday. If you go get your American Standard Dictionary, they stopped making, I'm thinking 73 or 75, it says the black man. First definition of black man, the devil. So you was in the church cashing yourself out. Well, Brother Ryan, what did you learn that stuff about walking the dog and all across the desert and stuff? Well, one of my teachers, one of my top teachers, major teachers, used to be a grand, large guy. He was a living Masonic child. And he would never teach me that. We would talk, he would never. And then one day, I guess I bugged him enough, he taught me two things. And I teach that in my temple, in my chamber. That's it. Everything else I got from the people that were with the prophet. So the people with the prophet, and St. G. Cookbay told me, said, come with me, son. I'm with the prophet when he put the black head. And the guy that's with the prophet in 1913 to 1919, he made the Masons over here, the brother Masons, mad. Dr. Solar Man Muhammad, he said the stuff y'all got ain't even Messiah. He said it's a weak, watered down version that y'all got from some brother that y'all followed behind. And listen with your law. Now you call it the African law. At first it was Lodge 459. 449. No, I take it wrong. I'm saying. Let me say it right. It's 495. It was 554.95, something like that. Then y'all changed the African law. Wasn't nothing African about that. Prince Hall Daddy was a European. Euro. Like that little thing used to be on Lost in Space, the little robot. Warning. He was a European. That's how you got your stuff from European. You didn't get your stuff from nobody in Africa. Y'all ain't going no pyramid, nobody, no spook come out the wall, no mummy come and give you nothing. The prophet went over there and they took him in the chamber blindfold. He come out the temple blindfold chamber. And they were, that was back in the days you had to be an international Mason where you crossed the brook of the sea. International Mason wore black feathers. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Is it dark out there? Let them in. Tell them to bring them in. Two at a time. So stop that.
Bring them in.
Stop that. Tell them to put them in the garage.
Come on, you only two at a time, bro. Come on.
Hold on. Think about it. I got pictures that I got out their book. Put them in the garage. Let me tell you what happened. I never forget it. 1979, I just went to the chamber myself. And the thing that amazed me that right after that, I started seeing all these Europeans with their fez and stuff on, yellow coats and stuff, had the lodges and stuff, and some had red on with the lodges and stuff. And I was downtown. And we only had one car at the time, me and my wife. So what I did was, I was on the train going home. I lived off of 69th from Blackstone. And I was going home on the train. I had my circle on and my fez. And did he put the gate right? Check to see if the gate is right. And Europeans, there's about 15 of them on the train. So they looked at me. I was sitting on the train going this way. We're going south side. We're going that way. And he came, he sat right there in front of me. And, he asked me some questions about where I hail from, etc. I told him some stuff. And then he asked me, he looked at my charm. He said, why is your circle broken? And I said, sir, is it broken? He said, huh? I said, is the circle broken? So we talked some more. He gave an answer. Woo, woo, woo. We talked. He said, what do you do for a living? I said, besides propagate the faith, I have a janitorial service. He said, what? I said, yeah, we talking. Woo, woo, woo. And so he gave me an address and stuff. Asked me when I come clean this spot up. I said, yes, sir. I'll come over there. I said, I won't bring my crew. I'll just come myself and do it. He said, okay. So I went over there. And it was on, I think it was 4724 something, King Drive. Is it fixed?
Yeah.
Tell him go on upstairs because I don't need him down there messing with him.
No, he swept the steps, but he messed all the stuff.
Okay. So I go to this spot. It's a 3-story mansion. Show you how Allah is. That was in 79. In 82, I was in the mansion next door having services. But anyway, so I'm cleaning up the spot. You know how you go up the stairs. So I go up these stairs, I turn, then I go up the other stairs, I turn and get to the second floor when I give it a turn. And right there, I looked at this canvas hanging over and it was moving. I looked at it. I said, what in the hell is this? So I peeped, being nosy. So I see it's a room. I said, man. So I look around so I can do my James Bond. I look around, I go in the room. I sneak in there right quick. I look. It looked like that stuff on Sherlock Holmes where they had all this stuff in the room. Had just a little corner room there. And I just looked at it. It was like Beans and Base bedroom. And I seen all the stuff. He had all types of Masonic stuff and candles and stuff. So I heard everybody got the room. I hope didn't nobody see me. So I went upstairs, cleaned up the whole place. Took me about almost a day. So at the end of that day, he came in and talked to me. He said, I got one more thing for you. He gave me my cash. He said, could you throw this in the garbage for me? I said, yes, sir, I'll throw it in the garbage. So I dragged the stuff down the stairs and I could tell there was books. I said, he's throwing all these books away. I wonder why. So as I got out in the back, the garbage can was like down a couple of buildings. The hole appeared in the bag, mysteriously. This hole appeared in the bag. It got bigger and bigger. So by the time I got down to the garbage, I could actually see what's in it. And it was a big book like this. I thought it was a dictionary. And I pulled it out and it said on the inside, death to he whose name is not on the book. I said, wow. I looked through it right quick. I seen all types of fascinating pictures of men with top hats and babies and stuff. I said, I gotta have this book. So I took all that book. I took that book, a couple more books to the car, threw them in the trunk, and was gone. So I studied them books and looked at them books. They was deep. And we had this one brother, he was a Hebrew prince. He had his spot on Roosevelt Road, 22nd. And so I rode out to 22nd to his spot. And he had it where the men's walked to one door to another door. So he knew me and my wife and stuff. And I told him I was going to come visit him. So I came and visited him that time. We sat there. And he threw a couple of little signs. And I said, oh, he knows some Masonic signs, huh? And he a Hebrew prince. So I said, okay. Black Israelite. I said, okay. So I threw some sign back and we got through. He said he seen my light. I said, yeah. I said, brother, I'm not one of them. He said, what? I said, I'm not a man. He said, well, how you know that then? That's high degree, bro. I said, I got a book at the house. He said, what? I said, yeah. So I told him I got the book. So he said, come on, so I said, follow me home. You know how I live at. So we go to the house. He looked at my book. He said, dang. He said, I'll give you $300 for that book. I said, no, sir. I said, no, sir, I can't sell the book for you like that. I said, but I'll do this. I'll allow you to make some pages, picture pages out of it. If you want that, I charge you $100 for that. Because it's mean pages. He said, okay. So we went all the way out. He lived in High Park. We went all the way to High Park. That's 5,500, 1,500 south. And he showed me his book. His book was by the brothers. This book was twice that size. He had the same, almost identical book, but my book was twice his size. And I was like, man. And his book cut off where their book got deeper. So afterwards, I got to my place burned up. When my place burned up, I never got rid of it. But I took a lot of pictures and stuff. I remember a lot of stuff in it. In my ad books, you will see some of those pictures and things. Me showing you who, what, where, and how. But the catch of it was, why did that European give me those books? He wasn't just a regular, he was a commander. I remember his time, he's commander something. Because he put his left hand over his heart when I put my right over mine. We talked. And now for those that don't believe me, etc., my Moors know for a fact I done sat with Masons across the country. I done showed them how to sit with Masons across the country. I done showed them how to answer questions. I remember some brothers one day, me and the Queen Mother, we was in the copying place. So there was about 3, 4 brothers up there, maybe 4. They was up there talking in the line. So they look in the line, brother look at me, then they talk some more. Then the brothers, hey, he said, where you hail from, brother? I said, I pulled the cord and rolled up. How about you? Man, they stopped talking. He raised his head to us. He said, what the? He said, what the? What the duck? What the duck? And everybody stopped talking. Me and the Queen Mother just looking at him. He stopped talking. But I threw a sign with it too. A couple signs. And that's how they went out the store. Quiet. And one time we was at Whole Foods and the brother seen Isis charm. I said, Isis, let that man go. She said, well, I ain't holding nobody. I said, yes, she is. Look at it, baby. He's standing with the mop like this here, the broom handle, at attention. Like he looking for something and walk in Whole Foods. She went over, I told her what to do. She tapped him and did it. Then another time we went to one of her restaurants, she liked a seafood place. It was a European shrine, Mason. And he's at a brother's lodge. Now, that was always getting me. Brothers are how they get in their lodges, but they get in our lodges easy. And he gave Ice all types of extra shrimps and stuff. And he was telling how the brothers here in Georgia let him into the lodge. Woo, woo. I said, oh, okay. My son, my old knucklehead son, smelly corpus of a son, he had one of his brothers in there, Emmanuel. He was doing his left hand, all that stuff. I said, man, well, your son says okay. My son's a knucklehead. You can't bring that in the temple, sir. Yes, there's certain things that's in the temple. The prophet said what's in is in. He will let children be in the chamber rooms and stuff. Y'all do all that. Matter of fact, y'all name y'all children holy names and stuff. But anyway, it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to ask the brother one more time. Anybody come on?
Just our people.
Just our people. Now, I want y'all to remember that. I sent this out. Let me see. And let me see, where is that? I sent this out. And I told the brothers, so y'all arguing with me. Let's do this. Let's do this live. Won't you show your stuff live? You know, you got all these other so-called Moors following behind you. Why don't you show yourself live? You know, so I can stand the pain. I can't stand the pain. I'll make you back up.
Well, you got 14 watching.
Huh?
You got 14
Yeah,
watching.
we got 4. There's somebody on there that ain't one of us. 14 people on there. Somebody on there ain't one of us.
On one of the channels.
Yeah. But I don't care. I know they're learning. Because they're trying to find how to answer the question when y'all talk. That's why I don't tell them so much. See, they want to be able to answer the call when I talk. So one of my members says, "Oh, I got you. Your leader says that."
Okay, one just jumped his head out.
What do you say?
King Bay, Islam. Why did Prophet Noble Drew Ali told the Moors stop flashing your cards at Europeans? It caused confusion.
That answers itself, right? That's self-explanatory, right? The prophet says, stop flashing your card because it what? At the European. I don't know how to answer it other than the prophet said you shouldn't be doing it. The prophet said in history, the prophet said you Moors can do more harm than good. Why are you out there attacking the European? But see, you have to be in the temple, brother. I will tell you this here. You need to go join the temple with a swiftness. You need to get on your skateboard, by car, train, airplane. Ain't but one way to join the temple, not 52. Go join it. Get you a cup of coffee, sit in the back. A real temple, so you can learn. You got to learn about the prophet. Why did the prophet say stop? Because he said you causing him problems. Just like you causing problems now with the prophet, all this Masonic stuff, all this Yoda stuff. Anyway, next question. Okay. You said that was who?
Nakeem Bay. Nakeem.
Nakeem. Okay. Not Nakeem. Okay.
Nakeem. That's what I thought first.
Yeah. Nakeem is Nahim. Me and him cool. He's over there with Sim Bay's teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was up there when I was in the high talking crazy to them brothers. I hope that answered your question. Yeah. But you see, people, you have to be steadfast with the prophet's teaching. You know, you have to be in with the prophet. It's like these people talking about the mystical chanting that had the Moors conquer Spain.
They ain't had to fight.
They didn't have to fight. All they chanted is just like Joshua. They chanted and marched and the walls came coming in. Them Moors were so afraid. 1 per 10,000. They were so afraid when Talib took them over there. Now they might have done some mystical chanting, but they had to throw up the dukes. Yeah. You know, they might have sit there, you know, you get your heart up. Ain't no mystery about that. The chanting ain't getting from getting kicked out.
Really?
Yes.
Same person. Islam, what the difference between Clock of Destiny and the Moor Science Temple of America? I'm confused.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Would you buy Cheerio or can of doo-doo? Would you buy? You can't. See it go. The prophets call it the Moor Science Temple of America, the Moorish National and Divine Movement. Where did he say clock or anything? You can't be confused if the prophet. Who you following? So if your girlfriend say, come and get some poontang, you go out there in the streets and stick your thing in a socket or something? She say, come here, baby. I want to make love to you. You throw some water on your body and go stick your stuff in a socket? Get the shock of your life? I don't understand. No, that's what I don't understand. How you don't see it? Prophet never said it, but you going for it. C.M. Bay was kicked out of the temple in 1928. You would never see C.M. Bay in his own words and his own writing say that he was an adept of the more scientific America. He was a sheik or anything. He'd tell you that he was a 32nd degree master zodiac mason. That has nothing to do. Matter of fact, that boy they showing the videotape all the time. What's his name? What is that fool's name? Because I chased him out the store.
Oh, C. Freeman.
C. Freeman Hill. I was down here. I was down in Atlanta at Popeyes getting me some chicken. I just got me a little chicken. Went out there. Guess who come through the door with a black shirt on and gold letters? C. Freeman Hill, 32nd degree master zodiac mason. And I looked at him, right? I asked him, are you the real? He said, yes, my brother. I said, are you the real one? Yes, my brother. I said, can we talk? He said, yes, man. I said, well, go ahead, get your food. I was coming to sit by you. So he got the table. He said this way, I said that way. So we talking, I was asking. So at first he was very, very, very potent with his speech. And then I just made him impotent. I said, sir, let me tell you, I was watching one of your videos, and you said it astounds you that the prophet Noble Jali said that a Moabite came from two Canaanites. I said, why would you say that, sir? How did you get confused? He said, I never said that. I got your tape. A person gave me your tape, sir, and I watched your tape. Well, tell me. Well, he jumped up. Well, tell me what that circle 7 mean, brother. I said, you're not a Mo. Why would I tell you that? He was sitting down. He said, show me what that circle 7 mean on that thing. I said, sir, you're not a Moorish American. Why would I teach you that? He jumped. That's what I'm telling you. You Moors don't do nothing for black people. I said, I'm glad you told me you was a nigger. You confessed that you was a nigger.
He said, thank you.
So anyway, C. Freeman said, he said, you Moors have never done that for you, but for black people. And I right there, I said, I told you when the more he ran out the thing most. So I'm finished eating my food. So I go out the door. He in the rain. He got a cup of coffee like this and a cigarette. And he's looking at the door. So I come out. I look at him. I said, he out in the rain. So I walk down towards the train station. A couple of the so-called Moors that he trained. Man, why you do that to him? Why you do that to Brother Caesar? I said, what did I do? Man, he told me he ain't gonna be teaching more science no more. I said, what? He told that to my wife. My wife was paying him $100 and some odd this stuff. My wife said, oh, you the one to stop him because he made an announcement. He's no longer teaching more science. I said, he never was teaching nothing. Morris. He was married to that old fat white woman that run off. That's why he ate all that pork sausages and stuff.
That's right. Okay.
So another brother told me, well, you know, the prophet was a mason. I said, man, so what that mean? Well, he was a mason. I said, so he also wore a diaper. Where yours at? Slap on that damn diaper like you slap on that fade. Because the prophet wore a diaper, a cloth diaper. He didn't wear no plastic diaper. He wore a cloth diaper. Where the prophet used to be a mason. Put on your diaper. Let me see you diaper up here. Double diaper. You know? That's before they had adult diapers.
Any pampers. Babies wore cloth diapers.
He stopped teaching. My wife said, I didn't know it was you, baby. I remember I was sitting in the temple telling that story. A brother asked me about it. She said, that was you? You the one that shut him down? Listen. These people running around talking about they're confused. They wouldn't be confused if you follow the prophet. You get confused trying to follow something else.
But you won't.
See, what you're trying to do, your European in you, your lower self, that devil in you, is trying to hide from the truth. When he get around me, first thing he do is shut up. Your devil gets smart. I ain't gonna say nothing because he's gonna expose me. He's gonna make me look stupider than what I look. You come in with rainbow clothes and stuff. Anyway, it's 15 after 9. I'm finna close out in 5 minutes. Anybody got any questions? You know, when you look at Batman and you look at Superman, Batman persona is who? Batman. Superman persona is Clark Kent. There's a difference. Superman's always Superman because under his clothes is what? The super suit, right? Batman had to go get dressed. Yeah. So that's his persona. These Negro Moors have to go put something on so they can look like they're a superhero. I'm seeing with X-ray eyes and stuff in my persona. Superman is Superman in his suit. Clark Kent is the persona. Is what you and then you can't see the difference. You can't see Superman and Clark Kent. You can't see the fact that Superman is never the same place as Clark Kent. What's your persona? I'm a more 24/7. So with that, I'm gonna say peace. I'm gonna say Bismillah, Bismillah. I'll be pleased with all y'all goods. Next time, same station, same place. Peace.
Islam, Islam, Islam.
Islam, Islam.
Allah, align our hearts and minds back to our ancient forefathers' divine creed and principles. We ask this in our holy name and of the 7 Elohim. Amen. Islam, Islam.
Eat your way. Get your way.
Praise Allah.
Get your
Almighty.
way up here. Tell the people Islam. Say Islam. Tell them Islam. Say, eat your